this Speed Castle does. And I'm bringing you an ancient squid. Seriously, an ancient squid. And the pains of iterative design. So bringing forth, let's go. Let's hit this action. Although action really, I mean, you can't literally hit action. It doesn't exist. So anyway, I am getting a lot more blocking out done at this point. I mean, I'm grinding for my own case of RSI. Hell yeah. You know how many energy drinks I went through this week? 8, 9. That's not healthy. I don't know. I wonder what long-term effects this is gonna have on me. But there's nothing quite like that warm embrace. Change the lighting a little bit so that I can work. Lighting is gonna be a really interesting thing to work with and get right in the game. I understand that there have been a lot of solutions to get lighting correct in Voxel Engine. I haven't really seen the lighting, how we're really going to work with it yet. Nothing up to this point has shown the actual lighting in action. So I'm blocking out this giant tower. See, one of the things that was really liked about the previous build of this area before I deleted everything is that I had this one tower with a bridge going towards it. So I decided that I'm going to, I delete everything. I decided that I'm going to try and keep the tower because that's one of the things that people liked. That's one of the bits of feedback that I got. Is like, oh, I wanted you to keep the tower because the tower. So I'm keeping the tower, but this tower is bigger and grandier. But what ends up happening is a series of like, well, maybe it's not what we want, and try something else. So I get the tower all built out, and I'm like, yeah, look at this crazy ass tower. But I then could start consulting with the rest of the team and an art lead, and things end up kind of going in a different direction because it's like, well, maybe the tower, what I liked about the tower was that it was more leany and that it had different attributes. So I end up looking at the old tower, pictures of the old tower and stuff like that, and he's right. Yeah, it doesn't have that same character to it. So I was like, maybe I can try and do that. And he says at one point, he's like, why not just like make it into something really crazy, like a squid or something, like just build out a squid. So I'm like, okay. So I reworked the tower to be a freaking coral squid. I like my coral squid. I mean, the only thing that you need now is SpongeBob SquarePants, and you see me looking like an actual squid reference because this is like squid. I'm squidding the fuck out right now. Okay? Squid in the house. Look at this. And then I make the squid hollow, and you can fly through its butt. Boom. That is it. Look at this. That's freaking squid. You can fly through his butt. Pow! So what ends up happening at this point is, well, I really like the squid idea, but let's use the squid in a different place because it just doesn't really fit right here. So there's a whole different area that'll get the squid, and instead let's try doing a giant rock that's sort of leaning haphazardly on a like ledge or thing like that. And I'm like, okay, all right. But this, let's make this even bigger. So I try something that, because at first I'm like, okay, well, I try to do a variation of this where it's sort of both ideas combined. You still have kind of a tower, and then you have this like big rock that's kind of like, it doesn't look like it would really balance, and it's sort of haphazardly leaning on something like that. And then this idea kind of gets shut down because it's just like, that's not right either. Like, let's just recreate. Let's just try strictly recreating exactly the concept art. So okay, so I reworked this spot, and I'm going back and forth between this and the concept art, and I'm trying to get it as close as possible, which I'm actually learning that is challenging with lots and lots of voxels because the object is so large that it's actually kind of tough to get the voxels to really line up and look exactly like the concept art. Just matching the concept art perfectly is a big challenge, man. So I'm trying like really hard here, going back and forth, looking at what I currently have in the game and all of this, like, so basically kind of start building up. I go to this big rock. I mean, look at this thing. And it starts off as a whole bunch of these things, but it's not quite right. Getting the rock to look heavy. And then this rock is actually like 6 batches in size. It's like a whole nother zone. 6 batches in size is like, I worked in an area, the first area that I worked on in these videos was 6 batches. So I'm building a rock that's the size of the first area that I started working on. So I'm doing everything I can right now to kind of mold it, but getting it to look just right. Getting that heaviness to it. Oops. Autosave. Okay, so this time I actually slowed the video down so you could see it. An autosave sent me all the way out there and looking back. Anyway, that's been fixed, but like over the course of the week this happened maybe. I don't know, you probably can go back to the videos and count how many times it happened. So right now, it's starting to look a little bit like a poop. A big poop. Maybe, you know, good amount of fiber. Yeah. I think I really had to get some fiber to really poop that. So I struggle a lot with this rock. And at that point, I knew that that's what I needed to get in place, and then I was just going to tweak the rock some more. All right. Thank you for watching. I just pooped.